Hello everyone, welcome to, as you can see, me in the front seat of an F-14A Tomcat possessed by the Iranian Air Force. So, first thing we're going to do is take a look at our magnificent aircraft that we are about to steal. Look at that, this amazing paint job. And so, you can see here that we have two seats. So I'm in the front, I'm the pilot for this demonstration, and we have a radar intercept officer, or RIO, in the back. So for now, I will go through the front seat start procedure with the handy AI RIO from the Heat Blur F-14 Jester in the back. So the first thing we should do is take a look around the cockpit. There's a lot here, so we'll just go through the minimum startup procedures needed to get this guy off the runway. So, because the F-14 was an aircraft made before engine APUs were a thing, we need a ground crew here to start up the aircraft. So, first thing we're going to do is tell the ground crew to connect ground air and power.
Chief, turn on the ground power. Chief,
Copy.
connect ground air supply.
Copy. Ground power is now on.
Ground air supply is now connected.
Terrific. So, now that we have ground power and air on, I'm going to change the ground air, or the air source to both engine. This will let our RIO in the back start powering on the AUG-9 radar with sufficient coolant. Okay, now that we've done that, let's tell Jester to go into his start procedures.
You got it. ICS comm check.
He's going to ask us for a communications check. I can hear him pretty good, so we're good.
Okay.
Now we're going to arm our ejection seat.
Closing canopy. Check.
And close the canopy.
All right, ready to start.
Thank you, Jester. So, now we're going to move on to engine starting. So, first thing we're going to do here is we are going to flip our engine auto start to left. Then we are going to move the left throttle to the idle cutoff position. After we read this, reads about 2 dashes, so we're good. Now, we're not going through the full checklist procedure here, because we are trying to get this off the runway as fast as possible, though in real life you would be doing checks on the hydraulic pressure and such first. So you can see that noise in the background is the backup hydraulic system, and that shuts off as the engine comes up to power. You can see our turbine inlet temperature and RPMs on the left engine rising. Once they settle, we should be good to engage the right engine to start. Once this comes up, we can also disengage the ground power. Alright, I think we have settled. So now we are good to start our right engine. So we're going to look for similar indications on the right engine as it comes up. Alright, we're about up to 2 dots on the RPM gauge, so we're going to engage that. And I have hidden my control stick for this purpose, but I will re-engage it. So while this is starting up, we can take a quick look at some of the things going on here. So this is our 4-way trim hat. This is our weapon selector, that we will not need this. This is emergency autopilot disconnect here, I believe. Our pickle button, and there are a couple other triggers on the back there. This is our ICS knob, which we would use to communicate. Our wing sweep there, our normal wing sweep knob. Okay, so now we're getting good indications from both engines. So, let's see if Jester is not ready to start his INS alignment. So, at this point, I will disconnect the ground power.
Chief, turn off the ground power.
Since we have normal indications. Cool, he is disconnecting. I'm going to turn on my inboard oxygen there. And arm my pitch, roll, and yaw stability augmentation system controls. Now, this is not a true fly-by-wire. They are just stability augmentation, so it helps damp some of our control inputs, though it is not by any means a full G limiting system. You can absolutely snap the wings off this thing if you pull too hard in any one direction. So, cool, now we have Jester's alignment thing. So, for now, I'm going to press INS Go course.
Roger.
This will not be enough for employment of weapons beyond the bore sight mode, but we don't have any weapons anyways, so this is not a concern for us. Okay, while we're waiting, I'm going to uncage our standby attitude indicator, engage our radar altimeter, and put the warning to 200 feet, and reset our barometric altimeter. Cool. Alright. What else we gotta do here? So now that we have power, I'm gonna turn on our VDI, our HUD, and our HSD. So, meanwhile, Jester's back there starting our alignment and also inputting coordinates for our waypoint, which I have selected as Dubai International Airport. We're gonna go to Dubai International Airport as fast as possible. Okay, going back to this panel over here, let's see what we got. This will flip on our radar warning receiver, this switch here. Now, on the F-14A, this radar warning receiver would not be available in the Tomcat, but I'm going to switch it on anyways. What else? Okay, taking a look at this. This panel down here, we don't have to worry about for now. Up here, if we have rounds in our gun, let's engage that. We do, so I'm going to set it to about 600, though it's not strictly necessary. Let's switch on our radio, turn it on to both, and then guard. Guard will enable us to communicate to any aircraft that we want to announce that we are defecting to. Okay. Now, while we're here, our wings are currently swept back all the way to an emergency position. To get them out of emergency wing sweep,
All right, ready to taxi.
as we see here, we're going to bring this lever all the way forward, bring it down, and then close the cover. So, now, we're going to press auto wing sweep and press the master reset button to bring them all the way up. Excellent. Now, at this point, let's just have our ground crew disconnect the ground air supply if we haven't done that already.
Disconnect ground air supply.
And we are ready to taxi, so let's do that. So we're going to disengage our brake, engage our nose wheel steering, and we can move with the rudder pedals like this. Now, if we were actually doing this, we would absolutely not have clearance to do this. We would just kind of be going for it. But since this is a simulation, here we are. Now that's our radar altimeter going off, which suggests that it is indeed working. We look at our fuel, we have about 16,000 pounds available right now. This is because the F-14A that Iran possesses does not have external fuel tanks, but we're also in a clean aircraft, so that should go a long way. So I'm just using subtle throttle movements right now to move us down the taxiway. Alright, now we don't need the full runway here to take off, so let's just pull in here. So, as we're pulling in here, let's line up on the center line.
Enfield 1-1. You are cleared for takeoff when ready. Climb 300 at QFE 27 decimal.
Alright, now let's apply our wheel brakes. You can see the toe brakes engaging there on the rudder pedals. Disengage our nose wheel steering. Alright, now we're going to have flaps down to full. You can see up here our HUD. Now, we're going to engage our brakes again. Throttle up to full. Engage our afterburners. They should go up. You should hear multiple things. Now they're going up to zone 5 afterburner, which you want to hear indications from. Release our wheel brakes. And we are off on our way. Try to stay aligned here.
Enfield 1-1. Clear to taxi to runway 9.
As we reach 150 knots, we're going to do that. Gear lever up. Flaps up as we have positive rate of climb. Our speed's going up. So now, let's turn towards the indication down there. Let's line up that diamond with the caret and the arrow. That will align us with our heading. You can also see on the VDI, there's an indication there. Let's go through these mountains. So now we're on our way to escape. Now, you can see we're absolutely eating through this fuel right now because of our afterburners. But let's just try to get out of here as fast as possible. Now we have 150 miles to go. Look at that. You can see our wings are sweeping back as we speak. We're already reaching Mach 1 here, down at sea level essentially. And you can see we've already eaten through about 1,000 pounds of our fuel at this point, so we're going to want to get it out of Iran as fast as possible down on the deck, and then we're going to want to switch to a less fuel consumption, a method with less fuel consumption, so bring us out of afterburner at that point. And we don't have to do a full sortie or anything, we just have to get down. We just need to get to our position, our landing location. Alright, well, I'll try to get out of Iran here, and I will get back to you guys when we're about to land.